The objective of this experiment is to use linear attract to investigate Newton's second law of motion. For experiment 2, which is a linear motion experiment, the apparatus that we require is a thread rail, blower, pressure tube, gliders, flag, photo gates, masses, mass hanger, a string, and pulley.
Rahman-Rahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat sejahtera. So today I will show you about the experiment we're going to doing today. So this experiment is about the linear motion. So I'm gonna show you how to do the experiment step by step. So the first one, assemble the linear 8-track set as shown in the figure 4.1. I will show you. Switch on the pump and let the air blow through the track for several minutes. Balance the track by adjusting the screw on the leg of the track so that the glider stays stationary and does not glide to either and will not let go. Number 3, insert one hook at one end and a flag on the top of the glider. Number 4, measure and record the mass of the hanger and length of the flag. Number 5, attach one end of the string to the hanger and the other end to the glide. Number 6, place measures with a mass of 20.0 gram on the hanger and put the string over the pulley. Number 7, position the glide exactly before the photo gate release the glide and record the time show on the photo gate in order to avoid a mass from crashing to the floor and sketching. Catch the glide with your hand before the hanger reach to the floor. And number, I don't know, show this number. Repeat 2 times to obtain the time average value and repeat the procedure for more times with 20 gram each add to the hanger. I will show you by video to more clear.
The methods in this experiment start from a set of linear attracts is installed as shown in figure 4.1. The pump is turned on and air is allowed to blow through the attract for a few minutes. The tracks are balanced with screws that are adjusted to the feet of the tracks so that the slider remains stationary and does not slide to either end when released. The hook is inserted at one end and the flag on the glider. The mass of the hanger and the length of the flag are measured and recorded. One end of the rope is attached to the hanger and the other one to the glider. A mass with a mass of 20 grams is placed on the hanger and the rope is placed on the pulley. The glider is placed directly in front of the photo gate. The glider is released and the time shown on the photo gate is recorded.
As you can see from the screen, this is the sketch of the apparatus from the experiment. This experiment includes multiple types of units for measurement, such as for the flag, they use meter to calculate the length of the flag, and for the time the glider slide by the photo gate, they use second for the time, and for the slotted mass, they use kilogram for measurement.
So this is the results that our team get for the linear motion experiment.
Analysis. First, plot a graph of weight force versus acceleration. Second, what does the graph tell us? From the graph plotted, we can see that when we increase the load value, then the acceleration value will also increase. So it can be seen that the load factor also affects the acceleration. Third, do this result supports Newton's second law? Newton's second law means the relation between acceleration and force. Acceleration is proportional to force, while inversely proportional to mass. Yes, because the higher the load value, the higher the acceleration value. Fourth, discuss any source of error. Throughout the experiment, The error that interfered with the experiment process was the maximum and consistent wind control. This is because consistent blowing gives quite significant reading results.
My name is Batrisha binti Abdulaziz and my student ID is 2022-808942. The acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the amount of the force applied to it. It states that the acceleration of an object increases with increased force and decreases with increased mass. Based on the data we collect, it shows that the results we obtain are not the same as the hypotheses that have been made, which is the acceleration of an object does not decrease with increasing mass, but instead, the acceleration increases with increasing mass. Therefore, the results we obtain do not support the hypotheses that have been made. The results we obtain do not make sense because the acceleration should decrease with increasing mass. The relationship between mass and acceleration is explained in Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law states that the more mass an object has, the more force is required to accelerate it. There may be several errors that affect the results of this experiment, such as instrumental, environmental, procedural, and human error. If this experiment needs to be repeated, we will make sure the procedure is more carefully performed to avoid errors from occurring. This result contributes to existing research, namely Newton's second law of motion, with the acceleration of an object depends directly upon the net force acting upon the object, the inversely upon the mass of the object. Therefore, why is acceleration important in life?
The conclusion of this experiment is, based on this experiment, we can conclude that Newton's second law of motion, which means that force of any direction is proportional to the acceleration of the same direction, is valid. Due to the result of the graph show that proportional increase of the acceleration with the net force applied.